Hello, good morning. So we're going to talk about comparisons today. We're going to start off with comparisons of inequality, and all that means is that stuff is different. Someone is more tall than someone else is taller. Someone is smarter. Someone has more computers or books than someone else. They don't have the same amount of computers or books. They're not the same height. So stuff's unequal. Stuff's different. And I want to try to show that. We got two people here. We have Hector and Jaime. And those are our two willing volunteers who are going to help us with this. There's a phrase that we're going to use with this. And it's either going to be at the beginning, either going to be más meaning more, or menos meaning less. We'll have a blank, and I'll explain the blank further in just a minute. And we have K. And K means than. K means than. So let me sort of define these real fast. I said them, but I know it might help some people if I show them as well. Let's try this way. We got más meaning more, menos meaning less. So we're going to either use más or menos. You don't use both. We're going to put the thing we're comparing in the blank in the middle, and we have K, which means than. So that's sort of what we're working with. That's our phrase that'll be helpful with this. So let's compare how tall they are. And if you remember, tallness or height, cat, go away. Look at him. I'm trying to, well, you saw his ears maybe. He's very intrusive. He's kind of cute though, so that's why we keep him around. So more or less and than. So we're going to talk about height first. Hector, I don't know if you can tell by my awesome drawing skills, Hector's taller. So we're going to start off with him. Hector, I'm going to say he is, and if you remember, that is going to be S. So Hector S, he is. Now he's more tall, so I'm going to choose más there. So I'm going to write it underneath, start it off here, keep going down here. Hector is más, he's more. Now I have my blank. I'm going to use K again. We always use K with comparisons of inequality. So Hector is more something than my other guy's Jaime. So he's going to go at the end. Más que Jaime. Alright, now if you remember, the adjective that means tall is alto. And because both Hector is a dude, we're going to keep it as alto. We're not going to change it to alta. We're going to keep it as alto. So A-L-T-O. So what we have, Hector is, oh my hand, more tall than Jaime. He's taller. And that's just one example with how this can work. I'm going to do some erasing, and we will look at something slightly different. So that's how we can say he's more tall. Let's do this. So let's say Hector is. No, I changed my mind. We're going to talk about, or compare rather, a noun. Something that maybe they own. And to do that, we're going to use the verb tener. Tener means to have. And to make it work with Hector, we're going to conjugate it and have it be tiene. So, let's say Hector has, let's say these guys have some books, right? And Jaime has 2 books. As you can tell, those are my awesomely drawn books. While Hector over here, he only has 1. Okay? So that would mean Hector has less books, right? Because he's got 1 while Jaime has 2. So, how we're going to set this up, we're going to say Hector has, we now need to say less because he's got less of them. So I'm going to use menos here. He has less something than Jaime. Let me rewrite this. It looks kind of bad. I don't know if that helped, but the thing now that we're comparing is a noun. Before it was an adjective, it was height. It was how tall they were. We were describing them. And now we're really just comparing how many things they have. In this case, it's going to be books. And if you remember, the word for books in Spanish would be libros. So Hector has less books than Jaime. So every single time we're going to use either a más or a menos. We're going to use something that we're comparing in the middle, and then we're going to use K in order to compare. Let's do one more. I need to do even more racing for this. And we've been focusing so much on Hector. Let's start this one off with Jaime instead. Give him a little love. So, let's talk about, I don't know, let's use an adverb. Let's talk about how fast or how slow they run, okay? So, let's do that. Let's start off, like I said, with Jaime. And let's compare how fast they run. Let's go with that. So, Jaime, the verb to run is correr. And it's going to end with an E if we're describing a dude like Jaime. And let's say Jaime runs less quickly than Hector does. So, Jaime corre. We're going to use menos for less. Corre menos blank que Hector. Alright, we're saying he runs less quickly, so we're going to see rápidamente. Hopefully I can fit that in our blank. So Jaime runs less, this is still the same phrase we're going back to, más or menos with a blank and then que. So Jaime runs less rápidamente, less quickly, and that's sort of butchered, but I promise it's there, less quickly than Hector. So to recap really fast, to compare people, we use this phrase, either más with something that's being compared and que, or menos, something that's being compared and que. We can compare in here something like an adjective, like height, that was our first example. We can do a noun or nouns, stuff like books. That was my second example. Finally, we can do an adverb that describes, in this case, the verb to run. And that was my third example, and I hope this helps.